Earlier today, my wife and I were at Barnes & Noble, where my wife was buying some children's books. The 2019 Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition was prominently displayed at the checkout counter. I have never once purchased a copy of the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit issue, but since the 2019 edition has been all over the news for featuring a Muslim woman modeling burkinis, I thought it would be racist and Islamophobic not to join the celebration of Islamic modesty by reviewing the burkini pics.
Sports Illustrated says this year, when it comes to beauty, it's all about shattering perceptions. Halima Aden is changing the game and making history as the first hijab-wearing model to wear a burkini.
We definitely had a lot of moments where everybody was like breaking down, crying, because it's a huge moment. Celebrating the diversity of women. For me, what I've always been passionate about is combining fashion with activism and breaking those stereotypes. Like, who says a girl wearing a hijab cannot shoot for SI?
What a great interview. What's beautiful is that she didn't have to forsake who she was and what she believed in order to do this.
Absolutely not. And she said even in her contract that she got it in, that basically she would walk away from any jobs that weren't in line with her values. So she has absolutely stayed true to who she is.
Really great job. Great interview.
The purpose of Islamic head coverings is found in Surah 33, verse 59 of the Qur'an, where Allah commands, "O Prophet, tell thy wives and daughters and the believing women that they should cast their outer garments over their persons when abroad. That is most convenient, that they should be known as such and not molested. And God is oft forgiving, most merciful." So, women cover their heads in order to avoid being molested. The head coverings also distinguish the Muslim women from non-Muslim women and slave girls. We read in the commentary of Ibn Kathir, "Here Allah tells His Messenger to command the believing women, especially His wives and daughters, because of their position of honor, to draw their jilbabs over their bodies, so that they will be distinct in their appearance from the women of the Jahiliyyah." Jahiliyyah refers to a pre-Islamic state of ignorance, and from slave women. A jilbab is a woman's garment. The Quran says to draw their jilbabs over them, thus covering the head. This would identify them as Muslim women, distinguish them from non-Muslim women and slave girls, and thus prevent them from being molested. Putting all of that together, what's the implication? Well, if the head covering identifies a woman as a Muslim and distinguishes her from slave girls and non-Muslim women, and this prevents her from being molested, it sounds an awful lot like it's perfectly acceptable to molest non-Muslim women and girls. And yet everyone is shocked that Islamic grooming gangs are molesting non-Muslim girls across Britain. But Western nations love Islamic head coverings, so it's no surprise that we now have burkinis in the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. Let's see if we can find all the Islamic modesty. There's no index, so it looks like we'll need to flip through the pages to find the modesty we're desperately searching for. This woman's dressed in nothing but a fishing net. This bikini looks like it's 8 sizes too small. Maybe it's for a 9-year-old. Dental floss would be a more effective covering. Oh look, another fishing net bathing suit. This woman has no top. She's using her arm to cover her breasts. Another woman with no top using her arms to cover her breasts. How many times are we going to use this arms covering the breasts trick? Covering her breasts with her hands. Shocker, she's covering her breasts with her arm. These aren't swimsuits, they're half swimsuits. Did the bikini companies run out of tops? Maybe they're trying to be eco-friendly by using less material. No more lost bikini tops getting stuck in dolphins' blowholes. Covering her breasts with sand. This woman's breasts are covered by a rock. Her breasts are covered by a horse. This woman's breasts are covered by a well-placed snake. The planning session for the swimsuit edition must have been like, we need to think of things besides a bikini top that can cover up breasts. And go. Ooh, arms. Got it. What about more arms? Check. Did I say arms yet? Perfect. Could always go with arms. Anything besides arms. How about hands that are attached to arms. I think that's enough arms. What about sand? Killing it. Rocks. Awesome. Ooh! Horses. Nice. A well-placed snake. That's a magazine. Feel like I need to go wash my eyeballs out with camel urine. So many boobies. Why can't they make this thing in Braille? So many thongs. Oh, here's a burkini. Finally, an oasis of modesty in a desert of depravity. And we only had to go through dozens of almost completely naked women to find Islam's newest role model for Muslim girls everywhere. Journalists absolutely love the idea of putting an Islamic twist on the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit issue. What's next? I guess we'll soon be hearing about Sharia-compliant pornography. It's the same as normal pornography, but the porn stars agree to be married for an hour while the video is filmed. Yes, Islam allows temporary marriage for purely sexual purposes. Sadly, the new Islamic pornography might involve 9-year-old girls. What is this magazine, according to the Qur'an? According to the Qur'an, this is a collection of pictures of women, the vast majority of whom are fitting targets of molestation. Only one of the women has distinguished herself by covering her head and thus shouldn't be molested. What a wonderful ideology to praise and celebrate. As far as Western businesses are concerned, the religion of child brides, sex slaves, temporary marriage, polygamy, and wife-beating can't be honored and promoted enough. So they treat Islam like a thong and try to cram it into every crack they can find. But they cover up reality about as effectively as a 2-inch wide strip of fishing net covers up some double Ds. Ladies, if you want to dress modestly, dress modestly. It's a good idea. But if you're covering your head simply to set yourself apart from all the women and girls your religion claims are fitting targets of sexual abuse and exploitation, that's not modesty. It's cowardice. It's aiding and abetting the systematic oppression of hundreds of millions of women and girls. If you'd like to dress modestly without defending the religion of child brides, sex slaves, temporary marriage, polygamy, and wife-beating, may I suggest wearing one of the tasteful shirts available in my Acts 17 merch store. The link is in the description box.